That's a
really,
it makes me look serious.
yeah, you
Well,
definitely
we're
got
live.
that old school marm thing going on there.
I do. So I just gotta work with it. Last time people
Yeah,
were commenting and I didn't know how to click to the
yeah,
screen. So this
yeah.
time I'm gonna try to figure it out.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna try to pay better attention.
I like the
But we're
glasses.
live.
The glasses make it gives you that old Mary Bailey in the flashback that George has, of what her life would have been without him.
Oh,
That's
yeah, and then
that's what that's
how
what
about
you
that
look like
scene
right now.
where he chases her down at the library and
Yes.
she's just like, that's "Ah,"
And
and
then
she's just
and then he gets shot
screaming.
at by his friend.
I cry every time I watch that movie. How about you?
Not every
It's a
time.
Wonderful Life.
I have
You never
cried.
cry?
Well, I have in the past. I've cried.
Well, hold
But
on, you have a one-year-old now, don't you?
yeah. No,
Prepare to
well,
cry.
I meant about that movie. Like
Oh.
it's actually produced tears in the past, but
Oh, it
not so
has produced.
mhm.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
now
Because
though.
no, now you're
No.
hard.
I'm insensitive. Yeah.
I know it to me, it's one of those movies, I know exactly what's gonna happen, and yet each time he's running
Oh
and
yeah.
he's doing that last scene, and I'm just
I
tears pouring down my cheeks.
since you want to get all serious all of a
Yeah.
sudden, uh early
All of a
like
sudden.
when I had my first breakup, I was going through a difficult time. Um I started dating later. So I was in my 20s, but
Okay.
because I didn't care about dating before that. But anyway,
Okay.
so I'm
Not
going through
interested.
this breakup and
Uh-huh.
really kind of questioning my life. And
Right.
it's middle of summer, and
Mhm.
I end up watching that movie, and I
Okay.
get to the part where Clarence says, uh, "Don't you see you really had a wonderful life?" And man, Lord used that
Yeah.
to just oh yeah, it
Wow.
really he really used that to in some ways save my life. So
So, really, It's a Wonderful
mhm,
Life means a lot
mhm.
more to you than the Happy Christmas movie.
Yeah, yeah, it's very personal, and now
So
it
that's
just exposed it to
interesting.
the world. Yeah.
Wow. So that you would just make that comment, we didn't even you just it
Mm-mm.
just naturally happened. You talked about the glasses, now we're
Mhm.
talking about George Bailey running,
Yeah.
and, of course, the famous iconic line from that movie is, "Every time an
Oh,
bell rings, an angel gets its wings."
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't really do much for me, but,
Oh, it doesn't?
no.
The whole
It's
thing
kinda
does so
cheesy.
much. It is cheesy, but, I like cheesy. So, like,
Uh,
I've realized anytime I'm watching a movie and they want you to cry or feel emotions, the
yeah.
music is I feel it. Like, there's just I'm there like that.
My
It's
wife
definitely
got to meet
too
that
much.
gal, the lady that played Zoe.
Oh, the little girl?
Yeah, was that her name? So, or
Zuzu.
Zuzu. Yeah,
Zuzu's
Zuzu.
Petals.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she had the
Or
little rose
Zoe,
petals.
Zoe, Zuzu, same thing.
So
Yeah,
did she? And what was
Zane,
she like in real life? What was that little girl like in real life?
very rude, mean,
Real
just oh yeah, in her
what you would
face,
expect what you would
yeah,
expect from those
yeah.
Hollywood actor kids.
She's 80 years old, and she's like, "Hey, you know who I am? I'm
"Hey, you know
Zuzu."
who I am. Remember
uh,
me."
yeah, yeah. She lived
Yeah,
out near Seattle, and or she does, and
she's still alive.
yeah, she likes to. She'll do these events where they'll do a book signing or whatever, and real sweet gal. She's just, I think it's pretty cool that someone would be willing to still appreciate what they did when they were a child. And, some people are like, oh, that was then, and I'm not like that now. So it's cool
Right.
that she's, that she is cool with it.
She's still cool with that that's her
Hmm.
one claim. Did she go
Yeah,
on to make any more movies is the
I don't
question
think
'cause,
so.
yeah, that was like one and done.
Yeah,
She was the
yeah,
one-hit wonder.
a child actor, and
Yeah. Well, maybe she turned out okay because of that. It's the ones that stay in the business that, like the poor Macaulay
yeah. Well,
Culkin
there
that
was
just
one of the
kids.
kids in I can't remember if he was in Wonderful Life. He was in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Mhm.
Uh
I think my
Davy
sister likes that movie.
Davy Jones, I think is his name. Uh
Uh-huh.
but he did the voice of Pinocchio in the cartoon, and
Ah.
then he became like a rodeo. type guy, and
Just
he did
had a
a ton
dream
of
to be in
stuff.
the rodeo.
Well, he did a ton of
Wow,
stuff. He would do he did westerns, and he did a lot of stuff. So some of those
very
kids
cool.
went on to,
Some of them were okay, like
and
Opie,
then you have your
Ron
alfalfa.
Howard.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Ron
or
Howard, look at him
yeah,
now. He's making,
sure,
he turned
yeah,
out pretty good.
yeah. Even Clint Howard's done pretty well.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
it's not, I think it's the family. I think it always is
yeah,
gonna come to the family that you're raised in
yeah,
versus, but poor some of these kids that you hear this horror stories, Corey
yeah.
Feldman. Did
Oh,
you ever
sure,
hear, like, kinda his
sure,
stuff? He released a doc several years
sure.
ago about anyway.
Yeah, I
Let's
try
make
to.
it happy,
Yeah, I
happy,
don't
but
know.
that stuff's pretty serious
No,
when
it
you
is.
realize
It is. It's very serious, and
yeah.
I'm glad that the people that are really pushing that evil are being flushed out.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think you can hide anymore with podcasts and people that can go
Well,
make their own docs,
yeah,
and,
and
speaking of that go ahead, because I got a joke
well,
for you.
oh, you do. Oh, okay, well, I won't
Yeah.
ruin that. Go ahead.
"What's up, doc?" Is that
What
funny?
what is up?
Like that nothing, I just thought it'd be funny because your name's Doc Kennedy. Like
Oh, I
no?
thought you
Okay.
might have something on top of that.
No, I just my curiosity is how many
Boy,
times
I'm
do
really
you hear
glad
that
that
in one
I,
day?
oh yeah. And I have
Like
to pretend every time I meet somebody, I have to pretend
mm,
that it's the first time
that
I've
you've ever
heard
heard it.
that. Yeah, so that they'll
You
feel validated in their
yeah.
stupidity.
Yeah, like, do you ever just go with it and laugh with it? Like, if
Oh
they're
yeah.
older and you're trying to be nice?
Eh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially. Yeah,
especially.
yeah,
Or like
yeah.
with me, you were just like, "What?" And I was
Well,
like, "Well, that's all I got."
well,
And, just
and then
I'm
I
disappointed.
realized you're in the demographic that I would just go with it, and like, well, she is old, so let's just go ahead
Oh,
and
ew.
uh, so
I
do you
am.
wanna
I'm
deliver that
46.
line
I'm
again?
middle-aged.
You
"What's
are.
up, doc?" "Oh, I'm up in age?"
Oh,
"Oh, zinger."
never
That
heard
you
that
got me.
one. Wow.
You got me. I
First
know, I
time.
know. I thought so. I thought I'd be
Eh,
so original coming on
well,
here
and
today.
I gotta be honest too, like, that I usually am kinda sarcastic with it anymore because
Yeah.
it's really hard for me to just hide my feelings. Like,
Okay, and let's talk about that because we went from, like, you being basically, getting in touch with your true emotions through It's a
mhm,
Wonderful Life to now
yeah,
you're shutting them all down. What
just
happened
shutting it
there?
down.
Shutting it down. Is that life happening to you?
No,
Is
that's
that
control.
maturing? It's
Yeah,
control.
yeah.
Is that true control or false control?
I don't know.
You don't know okay, so I don't know your story,
Let's see
Doc.
here.
I know
You see, it's 9:48 in the AM here,
oh,
and
you're in, Tennessee, right?
I am in Tennessee, and this is an ungodly time of the day. So,
I
you
know. Well,
know,
we got 4 people watching, so hey.
there's 4 people up this time of day.
Whoa.
Wow.
Well, I'm on East Coast. We're 10:48 here,
Yeah, I know.
so
You guys are way ahead of us.
we're waking up. We're waking up here.
Yeah,
So tell me, I
half the
met
world
you
gone by.
through the Christian Comedy Association. So we kinda
Lucky you.
yeah, lucky me. That's right. And so I don't really know your comedy journey. So just, enlighten us, Doc, with
I'm
tell
gonna
us
give
how
you the
you
I'll give you the elevator pitch.
okay,
Well,
and go.
so I mentioned the time with the first breakup.
First breakup.
I watch It's a Wonderful Life, and then I start, oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna kill myself
Okay, so
over
ooh,
this
good
chick.
news, good
Yeah.
news, good news.
So I'm
This we
still
wouldn't
alive. So what should I do? And
Yeah.
but it was when Seinfeld was coming out on DVD. And I love
Mm,
Seinfeld. So I was buying Seinfeld
mhm,
and laughing. And it's
yeah,
still the only show that I can go back and still have genuine laughs. Yeah, all these
yes,
years later. So definitely the humor just always resonated with me.
it does. Oh, can I ask a quick question? And I
Mm-hmm.
hate to interrupt, but,
Very good.
have
Well,
you do
that's your
you
job. You're
it is
interviewing.
my
That,
job. So, have you watched Curb Your Enthusiasm
of
and
course.
comparisons to Seinfeld versus Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Well, of
Go.
course. Well, I can't watch Curb with the family for one.
No, no, you can't.
Um, I definitely prefer Seinfeld.
Yeah,
Um, the characters I always appreciate.
Mhm.
But there are characters in Curb that I always love. I
Right.
loved Bob Einstein as
Mhm.
Marty Funkhauser, you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
and they're doing another season of Curb, and
Are they?
I
It's
just
it's
can't do it without Marty, it's not the same. And
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I love Bob Einstein's comedy.
yeah.
So um
But
yeah.
Seinfeld, out of the
Sign
2,
Oh yeah.
Seinfeld towards that for you.
It's
You can
not
always
even it's not even close.
yeah,
And
I yeah.
actually I'll take Comedians in Cars over Curb.
Oh, I
That
love comedians in
I'm
cars.
just a Seinfeld guy. So
Yeah,
I don't really I mean I love Larry David, but
right.
some of the stuff becomes a little bit repetitive, and
Mhm.
it's
It
kind of
always
the
ends in fighting and blowing and
yeah,
yelling and
and
cussing, and it's fine, but every episode after a while, I'm like,
yeah, it's kind of the same
something
thing
else
a
here
little bit.
going." Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit, but I love the humor on both
Oh
of their
yeah.
ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Seinfeld's making you laugh. You're
Yeah.
feeling better.
Yeah.
You're buying
So
the DVD
I'm like,
set.
oh well, maybe I could help bring some laughs and blah blah blah. Here we are.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's the elevator pitch.
Okay, so Seinfeld is basically you're like, "Wait, I'm feeling this feeling of happiness and
Yeah.
laughter,"
I would like to
and
help others feel the same.
then so what do you do at that point? Do you go to an
Well,
open mic?
I'm
Do you
living
write
in
some
a small
comedy?
town. I'm
Mhm.
living out in the sticks in
Wow.
Washington State
Okay.
on the opposite side of Seattle. So I'm probably uh, it was 300 miles from my parents' place to Seattle. So, and that was where I was living at the time. I had that fun of
Were there
moving
vampires
back
in those
in.
woods?
Oh, you
Did you
know
ever
it.
see, like,
But
Edward Cullen? Yeah,
well,
that's his, like, stomping
but we were
grounds,
always
the
yeah,
North.
but we were tight. So it was good.
Were you?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
cool.
Yeah, I didn't. It didn't bother me.
So, you're not even near a comedy club. You're
No,
not even
I'm not
near
near a
anything.
stage.
So, what are you gonna do? Are you even
Well,
writing at this
what
point?
am I gonna do, Jennifer? What am I
I
gonna
tell
do?
me because we're here
I feel like
today
we
to give
should
you
cut to a
something.
commercial. Let's just cut to a commercial.
Today's episode brought to you by What's Up, Doc?
Will he get into comedy? How will it work?
Ooh, inquiring minds wanna
Yeah,
know.
come back
We'll be
next
right
time,
back
folks.
next
Yeah,
time.
next
We should
week.
cut it right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're
Um,
back.
yeah.
So
So this was I can't remember what year it was, but it was before like online stuff was really, really getting popular. It was at the beginning of that. Well, I did find an online comedy course,
okay,
and so
early
I took
2000s?
that. Uh-huh.
Did
Um, yeah, it would have
okay.
been something like 2005. And so I took
2005.
the course, took a writing course. Well, thank you, Robin. I love you too.
Oh,
That's
Robin
very
says,
kind.
"Love Doc."
Yeah.
Gotta love Robin.
Oh, she's got the same last name as you. That's ironic.
Oh, wait, it's like we could be sisters or something. You know what I mean? Isn't
I
that crazy?
Well, that seems far-fetched, but,
I'm paying her to come on. I just texted her, "Get on here
oh,
and
you
say
did?
something nice."
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I didn't. She just
Yeah.
popped on.
Yeah, you hacked her profile and just posted that yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway, we'll
so
take that down
fast
and we will keep
forward,
going.
yeah, fast forward, and I moved out to Seattle and, been happy ever since.
And then you just tell me your first experience getting on
Oh.
stage. I'm sure
Nope,
you
I
just
don't think
nailed
anybody's
it.
ever asked this, yeah. So,
Yeah, let's hear
I've
about
been
it.
doing the writing thing for a couple years, and
Uh-huh.
just trying to get that down,
Yeah.
and, I, there was a club in so so what happened was my best friend, moved out to Seattle at the same time as me, and actually,
Mhm.
we were in Tacoma. It's about, 30 miles outside of Seattle,
Okay.
and he was doing stand-up at the time also,
Mhm.
and we're going to this mic on a Sunday night, and I've
Alright.
never been on stage. I have no idea what this is gonna be like.
Mhm.
I'm just, kinda I'm sure there's a brown stain on his car seat. Uh, it's just
You were
on the
that confident, that
yeah,
confident.
yes. And I was
Well,
actually thinking
scary.
about this the other day, how, on the way there, I
Mm.
was so uptight. I wouldn't let him talk to me. I'm
Oh,
just
I feel.
yeah,
Did
do
you
not
did you
talk. I you know, because
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
Seinfeld. I'm doing the Seinfeld formulated crap. I have to know my lines exactly. And if I don't
Yes.
deliver each perfect line, the
Wow.
smallest thing will throw the whole show, not just my set, the entire show, and
Could
maybe
ruin
the
it all.
city off tilt.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. No
I'm
pressure,
carrying
though.
the weight of the
No
world is
pressure.
on me.
No
And
pressure.
yeah, so I get up there and, and I mean, it was,
It's terrible, huh?
yeah, it was working out
First
material.
time. It's your
Sure.
first time.
It
Did you
wasn't
get any
terrible.
Yeah?
Yeah, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like this guy's the next star, obviously.
Right.
So it
But
went
enough that you went back, obviously.
well. What
You
else
didn't
was I gonna do?
You coulda quit right there. You coulda
I
said,
could
"This is not
have.
working.
I
It
could
did not
have.
go perfectly for me."
We had a small problem.
Uh-oh.
This particular club, it was a bringer, which means you
Oh,
have to bring someone to get the
mhm.
stage time.
Sure.
Well, my buddy and I were the only people we knew because we had just moved there.
Right.
So we would rotate every other week.
Hey, you do what you gotta do to get that stage time. Okay.
Well, that kind of sucked, because you want to create a little bit of momentum.
Right, right.
But
So, every other week, you got to go up
yeah,
out
but
there.
my
Well,
my thing was I thought, well, because I come out of this small town and I have no clue how the world works. I
uh-huh.
thought maybe because of really what I wanted to do was act. I wanted to be in movies. And so I
Ooh,
thought,
like
well,
Wonderful Life kinda stuff?
maybe no,
Oh,
no, none of
no,
that.
not black and white. Those are old.
Yeah, who does anything in black and white? Stupid.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the the idea was to try to use stand up to get into film. And
Okay.
well, then I met some folks and they were filmmakers and they helped me along that road. So I quit stand up
Oh, wow.
for quite a while.
Okay.
Focused on I did video production and
Mhm.
uh, learned quite a bit, doing that. And then I actually went freelance for a while. I just did freelance video production as a career,
Okay.
but there'd be like 1 or 2 times a year that I'd always have to go back on stage, and
Mhm.
I'd get frustrated pretty quick and get that out of my system and go back
Mhm.
to filmmaking. So, but I knew that this was kind of where I was supposed to be doing
So
stand
where do
up
you
and doing live
Uh-huh.
shows. You can't beat a live show. To
Mm-mm.
me, there's nothing better.
Right. So my question is, where do you stand now? I mean, so
Oh,
I know you do some video stuff now. You have a
well,
podcast,
yeah,
which,
but I mean,
um,
it's great to be able to have the video background to
yeah.
be able to use that now.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, when it comes to um, the arts, it's definitely it's it's a little bit of both because I love doing what I'm doing now with comedian investigates. I love doing that.
Oh my gosh.
I love creating laughs,
Yeah,
and I really don't care what well, I shouldn't say I don't care. I think there's value in both. So,
sure.
not everybody can go to a live show, but they can click on a video. And
Right. And so, like you said, nothing compares to a live show. I've heard
yeah.
your podcast, which it's Doc Kennedy Investigates, right? Is that the name of it?
No, it's the Comedian Investigates radio show,
Oh, I said it
which
wrong.
which is on YouTube.
Which is really funny. And
Thank
I
you.
reached out to you like last week. I was listening in my car and I was laughing out loud. I mean, the
See, that
way
makes me happy.
you edited it down, you're interviewing and then you break away from the interview. And I know when I used to do improv, there's a sketch called Film Noir. So you're
Oh,
in the
yeah.
middle of
Yeah.
talking, and
Yeah.
then you clap, and then you come out of it, and it reminded me
Oh, okay.
a lot of that, to where you're kind of talking, and then you break away, and you're saying what's you're really thinking. I was just laughing the whole time.
Well,
Very
thank you.
funny.
I'm really
Yeah.
glad. That makes me really happy, Jennifer,
Mhm.
and builds confidence. So thank you.
Yeah.
I think noir is probably and it's definitely a spoof. So
Mhm. Well, there's so many podcasts. You're kind of we're
mhm.
even what we're doing now, we're competing in a sea of voices.
Yeah.
So it's good when you can do something a little different that stands out that, will come back
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it combines things that I'm interested in. A lot of my life, I've always enjoyed, like, right behind me here. Let's see here. Right here.
Okay.
That picture there is Jerry
Yeah.
Orbach, who
Okay.
is, Lenny Briscoe on Law& and Order.
Oh,
So
wow.
I've always loved that, like, investigating,
Mhm.
um, private investigation, that type of work.
Yeah.
If I had 2 lives, I'd probably do that in one of them. But,
Oh, good. That was gonna be my next question.
oh, okay.
Okay. You would be
Yeah.
okay, I got a question for you. Bloodhound Gang.
What about
Do you remember the
no.
Bloodhound Gang from 3, 2, 1 Contact? PBS?
Oh,
Okay.
PBS? No.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
sorry. I
Jennifer.
I know, I'm a little older, like, that
Ver
was kind of like my
okay.
our investigated, like, we
Oh,
used to
okay.
love watching the Bloodhound Gang, and I
Mm.
just didn't know if you were gonna connect with me on that, but that's fine, that's
I'm
fine.
sorry. Yeah.
I'm older, and we've talked about this, so should
You're just shy of 60?
thank you.
Is that
Let's see, just shy of 60. Oh, you're
my
so close, so
my
close.
s my
Whenever there's
sleuth work? Yeah.
trouble, we're there on the double, we're the Bloodhound Gang. If you've got the crime, we've got the time, we're the Bloodhound Gang. Don't remember, none of that is ringing a bell. Good.
Well,
Okay, well, that's just once again, that my
Carmen
sister remembers.
Sandiego.
Okay, now see, I was raising kids with Carmen Sandiego, and you were
I
I
was
don't even know what our
well,
age difference
I
is.
wasn't your kid, but I was a kid watching Carmen Sandiego.
You were.
Yeah.
See, at my age, I start looking at younger people thinking I could be their mother. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
I could have birthed that person.
I
I might
I
have been a teen pregnancy, but I could have done it.
I turned
That's
yeah. I turned 40 this year.
you turned. Okay, I'm 46. So,
Well,
baby
that would
brother, you could have
yeah,
been.
that
I
would
don't
have
think I
been
could have
yeah,
birthed you.
yeah.
Don't think I could have birthed you. So Carmen
Yeah,
Sandiego, where in the
I
world is
I
Carmen
I told you
Sandiego?
I told you I'd try to behave too since we're live. So I'm not
Yes,
even gonna go down that road. Thanks for trying to set me up though, Jennifer. That's
you're
nice.
welcome.
Eh,
Well, so this is a passion of yours is investigating, getting to the bottom of things. So are you into conspiracy theories is my question, or is that whole
no,
'nother level stuff? Not
um,
no.
I'm into truth.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And if it's true, then how could it
yeah,
really be a conspiracy?
yeah.
So do you like to watch, like, certain do you get into alien conspiracies
No,
or
I'm not
no?
interested in aliens at all. I never have
Okay.
been actually. So
Okay.
like when I was a kid, I was watching
Yeah.
westerns because I
Yeah.
enjoyed I couldn't get into Star Wars. I couldn't get into Star Trek because in my kid mind, I
Mhm.
just couldn't get into reality. So I always loved history and I still do.
Mm.
And
Okay.
I like things that were more real. Now I can enjoy a little bit more fantasy and kind of be a little bit more open to that stuff. But as a
Well,
kid, I remember seeing Star Wars for the first time, and there was 2 moons, you know,
uh-huh.
and that was it. I'm out.
And it was too scary for you. So let's talk about the trauma you must have been going through in childhood that you couldn't even go there. Oh, look,
Well,
we got Joseph Winsler saying aliens are just fallen ones in disguise.
hmm,
Well, 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 that's a
oh
can of
wow.
worms we could
Well,
open,
that
but
yeah,
it might
that's a
be too scary. So we're going to take that one off. Too
yeah.
scary. We don't want to go there right now. But Joseph, we'll have to have Joseph on and talk about that
I'll
because I
just
can
say,
go there. I can go there with the alien stuff. I find it very intriguing. But
well, yeah, and
yeah.
I
But
for the most part, I agree with Joseph.
Yo, do you? Okay. So you wanted to investigate more stuff that was in reality versus
Oh yeah, yeah.
let's not try to go and have two moons. We can't handle two
Yeah,
moons.
homicide
Okay.
detective was always
Mhm.
up my alley. That was something that I would have, that was on my radar growing up as a
Wow.
possibility of something to do.
How about
So
Emergency 911? Did you like that show? Emergency
nah,
911, what's the emergency?
yeah,
No?
not really.
Okay.
I loved
I'm older than you.
Law and Order.
Cops?
Yeah,
You just want
definitely.
you definitely cops.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
I loved cops too
yeah,
back
sure.
in the day.
It was funny
Yeah.
living in Tacoma. I was watching Cops one night,
Mhm.
and it was almost like it was happening in real time. As
Really?
I saw the streets, and it was a street that I was living on right there, and it's like,
No.
yeah, it was pretty wild, but
Wow.
yeah,
It's right there.
right there.
I used to impersonate one of the like, some of the girls on Cops, you know, they'd be picking her I mean, she's just, like,
But
all on the curb, she can't
yeah,
sit still, and she's just fidgety.
yeah.
I don't do it anymore,
Well, you
so
should let's see it.
bring it back?
Yeah,
Bring it
bring it
back?
back.
Okay, let's see. I'll have
I'll
to
play
work
the
it in the
cop.
joke somehow.
All
I'll
right,
play the cop.
all right. Hands behind your head.
You know, and
Hey,
she's just
hey.
she can't sit still, you know what I mean? And then she starts taking off, you know what I mean? Then they
Yeah.
gotta wrestle her
That
back down. She's
or
out of control,
yeah,
that girl.
yeah.
That
Tase
girl.
her.
She's
Tase
taser.
her.
They didn't have tasers back when we were
I
watching
know.
it back in the
I know.
90s.
I know. Those
Yeah,
poor
but they
guys,
had those
they would
clubs.
have
They
to
had those
chase them.
clubs. Yeah, old school.
Yeah. And that was back when you could beat a woman as a cop and nobody cared.
Oh, the good old
Yeah, I
days.
know. Dang it.
Oh man, so you're into investigative stuff. That's
Yeah.
super cool. Like
Yeah.
I realized thanks to 2020, I'm really into conspiracies
Oh,
or
okay.
truth seeker. I
Yeah.
am. I
Well,
get
no,
excited
that's why
about that kind
I
of
don't
stuff.
like calling them conspiracies because that I feel like
It's a bad taste in your
that's
mouth.
well, it's an easy way for those involved in lies to just
Right.
say, "Hey, it's a conspiracy. Look the other
Yeah.
way." Well,
Yeah. Now when I hear people say, "Oh, it's a conspiracy," I think, "Well, let me find out because there's probably
yeah,
truth in it and
yeah,
somebody's trying to conceal it."
yeah.
So that's what 2020 did to me. I'm
Now,
coming out of this pandemic, super into a lot of stuff that I never
well,
even knew existed. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
and I think it's good
So
for us to be awake to
yeah,
the reality of some of the stuff that's been going on, but at the same time, not allowing it to go too far to where it's controlling our every thought.
yeah. There is that balance where at the end of the
Mhm.
day, that's where my faith kicks in. It's like, well, even if a lot of this is true, which it could be, let me just
I
stick
think,
to loving
uh,
God, loving my neighbor,
yeah,
and
yeah,
just.
no, yeah,
But I will
yeah.
tell you, it's fun to just turn on, like, get on YouTube on a Friday night and just kick back, and we just have a lot of fun watching some of these people out there with a lot
Oh,
of funny
oh,
stuff
yeah,
going on. Some of it's just so absurd that you can't even believe it, which those are kind of the ones I enjoy watching, just
yeah.
crazy stuff.
Well, give me
Yeah.
an example.
Won't say names, but we because,
Because
I
you
don't
don't
know where
wanna get
everybody's at.
Clintoned?
Oh, thank you. Don't even talk to me about that because that's a whole nother thing. No, but we watched this one guy, and one minute he'll be talking some stuff that I'm like, "Yeah, man, that's so yes, totally." And then all of a sudden he busts a bomb on you like,
Oh, yeah.
and Kamala Harris is a clone. And you're like, "Whoa." It's just some weird stuff that I'm like,
I
we
don't
just
agree with that.
and then we bounce off. But sometimes we just listen and we just get a good laugh and
Yeah,
chuckle.
sure.
But some of these people I like 100% believe some of this crazy stuff,
Mhm.
and, I think I'm just more of a spectator, and I'll listen, but,
That's a
yeah,
good place to be.
I find it interesting.
Yeah.
So Doc, I break down so you said if you were not a comedian, you would
Mhm.
be some sort of investigative
Uh,
homicide,
well,
forensic.
I would have liked to have been in law enforcement. What turned me off immediately was the hours, and I
Okay.
thought, I don't wanna work graveyard. That
No,
was that. I was done.
it all came so
I had an epiphany actually when I was younger, and I was like, "You know what? I don't know that I wanna be a cop as much as I wanna be the guy playing the cop." You know? Lenny
right, in the
Briscoe.
background.
Yeah.
So tell me and we're gonna be wrapping it up here in just a moment.
Oh,
Tell
no way.
me I know. I try to keep it to about a
already?
half hour. I know, because
What?
I know sometimes
I
people go,
I haven't
"You
even
wanna
gotten
keep
into the good
going."
stuff.
Okay, then we're
No,
gonna
it's
just
okay.
stay here for a minute
It's
and unleash the good stuff on us. Like, what are you what is
I don't have it.
what's that good stuff? No.
Yeah, yeah, there's nothing
So
there.
tell me a highlight, tell me, like, dream role, like, right now, let's put it out into the
Oh.
universe, like,
Hmm.
if you could have that dream role as
Well, I'd love to be in a Western.
a
That'd be
Western. Okay.
sure.
Alright, so
That
anybody
that would be
listening,
great. Yeah,
put
I'd love to
Doc
be
in a
in a
Western.
Western. Yeah.
Okay.
Any yeah, I'm going I've been watching a 1980s series called Crime Story, which is
Mm.
it's based in the 60s, and
Okay.
I love that, starring Dennis Farina, who was an actual Chicago detective before he became an actor. So
Mhm.
I love that type of stuff. Those would be
Yeah.
my two. You know,
Okay.
let me be a cop, or let me be a cowboy.
Cowboy or cop?
Yeah,
Okay, you've heard it here first, people. If you're looking for a cowboy or a cop,
yeah.
go
Or
check out Doc Kennedy
if you just need somebody funny, I guess I can do that
or
too.
somebody funny. And, so we got the dream role. What's the dream gig for you? Probably nothing too late in the evening, I would imagine, because the
Well, it's
graveyard
kind of
things and
funny because now I'm like, if I go to bed at 2, that's a great night.
Oh, look
So
at you. Gosh.
yeah, well,
That's
it's been
crazy.
different having a kid. Kind of threw that off,
That's
but
true. That's true. That's true.
it's all good.
Lights out
Uh,
10:30 over here, but
yeah. Well, I'm not 46
Beauty.
yet,
I
so
know. Something
things
you can
might
look
change.
forward to. Something you can look forward to.
Well, maybe you could come
Um,
back to my side.
well, maybe I will. They say insomnia kicks in when you get older, so we'll see if that
There's
happens, and then I'll be up in the middle of the night.
I think they meant dementia.
Yeah, that too, you know. So, lots to look forward
So then
to.
you just stay up because you can't remember that you were supposed to sleep.
Ah, okay, so tell people I'm gonna get better about typing stuff in,
My
but,
oh
where
my
can people
dream
find you?
my dream gig. My dream
Yeah,
gig.
dream gig, yes, okay, yeah, see
Open
the
for
the
Seinfeld.
dementia already kicking in.
Yeah,
Opening for Seinfeld.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so we're putting it
I
out there.
It could be a house of 5 people and I'm opening for
Awesome.
Seinfeld. I don't care.
It
That would
doesn't
be
matter.
that would be the yeah. I
The
would
ultimate
retire.
You're
So
gonna retire after
if
that.
you want to get me out of comedy, just get me to open for Seinfeld.
Okay, good to know, good to know. If someone's trying to take you out in the game, they just gotta get you to open for
Well,
Seinfeld and you're done.
I always feel like when a comic dies, I'm like, "Oh, that's horrible." Well, that is more stage time for the rest of us.
Well, it's a good way to look at it. You got to, because obviously you're coming from your neck of the woods where you had to wait every 2 weeks to get
Yeah,
on that
yeah,
stage.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
I could see
And
how
then that club did so
balance that.
well. A few weeks later, they
Yeah.
shut that comedy club down. It was
Mhm.
called Giggles. They turned it into a strip club
Giggles.
called Jiggles.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, boy. The jokes were flying then. It went from giggles to jiggles, so
To
they just had to
Jiggles.
change that first letter
I don't even
on the
know if they
sign out
changed
front.
that. Maybe it was a
That's
G as a J.
hysterical. So no performing there
Mm-mm.
after that night.
Yep,
No, that
that's right.
your career had ended right
Yeah,
there.
and that was before Tacoma Comedy Club opened, so, you know,
Wow.
I got yeah,
Wow. Very cool. Well,
I feel
so tell
guilty.
people, you feel guilty for what now?
Well, I feel like, the
You
strip club happened because my act sucked. If I had if things would have gone better that first night, first time
Yeah.
I was ever on stage.
It and now these poor women that have been enslaved to a life
Yeah.
of
Well,
stripping is all your fault. It's all
and
your fault.
the whole thing that we saw with Chopped in Seattle
Yeah. Yeah.
wouldn't have happened. Wouldn't have happened.
See, and I'm so glad you don't carry a lot of pressure or guilt upon your shoulders. Sounds
No,
like
I
you're
feel
just
good.
a free guy. All right, so those that have tuned in today, because we're going in between 0 to 2 to 4. I think we were up to 6 people at one point watching us.
Wow.
I
That's
know,
amazing.
incredible, right?
Not even my
um,
parents.
not even your parents. So tell people if they want to continue this journey further with Doc Kennedy, where can they find you?
DocKennedyLive.com.
.com.
And yep, and you can find all sorts of goodies there. There's all
All
sorts
sorts.
of fun. Yeah, including Comedian Investigates radio show.
Yes, Comedian Investigates radio show, which is also on, like, iTunes, because that's where I've
Yeah.
listened to it, all
And in
podcast
it,
channels.
you'll be able to see
Mhm.
the one and only Jennifer O'Brien on an upcoming episode. I can't say
Yeah.
exactly when it will be released, but it will be within the next few weeks.
Yes, very exciting. All right,
I
so
I am excited.
I'm excited too. So
Can
we're
you
actually
see
gonna get off this.
can you see this? How
Wow.
excited?
Your face is red. Your eyes have a sparkle.
Yeah. Tons of
It's
emotion.
almost too much. It's almost too much for me to take in right
Yeah.
now. So we better just go ahead and kill this. And all right. Well, everybody
This
go
seems a
check out
bit
Doc
harsh.
Kennedy. I know. Well, I figured the investigative
Wow.
thing. I was trying to speak your language. No,
Yeah.
not that.
Okay.
Okay. So all right, everybody go check out Doc Kennedy. And thanks for joining us today on the Jennifer O'Brien Show. I've been your host, Jennifer O'Brien, and sayonara. I think that means goodbye. I don't know.
Adios.
And